The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
Welcome to the Senior Show. We are live, two wild and aging guys.
All right, Neil.
Tim.
Happy weekend to you.
Yeah, happy weekend to you. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing all right. So this past weekend, I was up at my brother Michael's house up in Massachusetts. He's celebrating his 56th birthday. But listen, part of this show, the Senior Show, is part of planning and being prepared for change. So, he has two daughters in college. His son is getting married next June. Actually, his son is getting married the same weekend my daughter got married this past June.
Oh, crazy.
But just different year, 26,
right.
27. But, listen, we got into the same conversation about money and finances and what are we going to do when we retire and tax efficient plans, the stuff that we talk about every week.
Yep.
And how do we do it, and how do we do it efficiently, and how can we create a way that can make our money last longer in retirement and then possibly leave a legacy for our children, which is great.
Well, that's better than politics. Jeez.
Right? Certainly better than politics,
yeah,
right?
you get in these family functions and one guy walks out with a black eye and the other one is not talking to the other. It's quite a thing.
Yeah, you want to stop doing holidays? Yeah, bring up politics.
Yeah.
Clears the room in a minute.
There you go.
But, the bigger thing is especially with the AI now and these different scams. And listen, we all know seniors are the biggest targeted group out there that gets beat up with these scams. So you can do everything correct with your finances and your planning and you're going to the doctors and your health and taking care of maintaining your house, doing all these things you're supposed to be doing. And then listen,
it's scary.
A press of a button or a phone call and you could wipe out a pretty good portion of it, if not all of it, right? So I thought maybe today we can kind of talk about, the do's and don'ts and what to be prepared for, or what to look for when you get that wacky phone call where your granddaughter needs $10,000 to get bailed out of jail.
Yeah, it's scary.
And it's her voice.
There's so many different scams now. It's hard to keep up. AI and the internet have created a monster where people sit home here, overseas, wherever, and all they do is think of how they can get into your pocket and take your money.
That's right. They're saying, ARP says 41% of adults over the age of 50 have lost money to fraud or had sensitive information used fraudulently.
41%.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of fraud, man.
4 out of 10. Well, I could name 10 friends, and including myself, that I get hit with this or that. Nothing big, but you got to be super careful. And I think one of the big things is, as technology has advanced, we might be using a computer that's 5 years old and isn't protected. That's number one. I mean, you have to stay up on the protection.
100%.
And because the fraudsters are figuring out your protection and then it's a constant cycle.
I'll tell you a great scam that was going on a few years back. When we close a loan, the money gets wired from an escrow account, into the attorney's account and then into your account, right?
Right.
So, but we were getting notifications. Our closing department was getting notifications. I'm sorry, we're changing the routing number to this.
Oh, boy.
And a couple of times, money got rerouted somewhere where it wasn't supposed to go. Now, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars on a purchase transaction or a refinance transaction. So that got caught pretty quickly, obviously. But, there are so many different ways, and it's just not, it's across the board.
Right. So it's your passwords. It's protecting what you have. It's the internet. It's emails. It's very simple to click on a button.
Yeah. Well, people are afraid. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose all my money in the stock market. But listen, you could lose all your money using your phone.
Yeah.
You could lose all your money with a fake voice that sounds just like I said before, just like your granddaughter, your grandson.
Well, that's just it. You get these scam calls all day, and you say hello, and somebody's recording your voice. That's
right. And then, like, somebody would say, "Hey, is this Tim Kennedy?" Yes. Now, they take that voice recognition of the yes,
Right.
And then they create that into something else where now they call and they use your credit card information with that the verbiage from my yes, and now they can take money from your account.
And they can take your son's voice, your daughter's voice, your grandson's voice, and actually record it and recreate it and think that they owe you money. That's
I had a client years ago. He supposedly had a girlfriend out of the country.
Oh, jeez.
And
I hear about this all the time.
She was milking him for money to the point where now he needed a reverse mortgage because now she needed that much more money to get into the States. And luckily, I was in contact with the daughters, and the daughters like, yeah, we have a problem with Dad. This has been going on for a while. And we did not move forward with the reverse mortgage. And they actually went a whole different route with the guardianship. And, there was dementia and cognitive decline and loneliness, right? He just loved talking to this woman at night. And, they were in love. And but she needed money to get here. And he was doing everything possible to get her here. And that's a big time scam.
And she maybe didn't even exist, or maybe it was a 500-pound guy. Nothing wrong with that, but
and that's why even like, for example, the reverse mortgages, Neil, with the home equity conversion mortgages, they're required to take a third-party independent counseling session for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, they want to make sure they understand that what they're doing is a reverse mortgage. They want to understand you're still responsible to pay your taxes, insurance, live in the property. But one of the other things is they want to make sure that you're cognitive, that you understand what's going on, number one.
Right.
And number two, they want to make sure that you're not being coerced or forced into taking out this reverse mortgage for somebody else's gain.
Right.
Again, it's all protection against the scam and the scam artists.
Right. And then there's even little ones now that people tell you to buy gift certificates. I have friends that they were convinced it was the IRS, and I had to buy. They were going to Home Depot to buy gifts. Somehow that doesn't make sense to me. But and these are smart people telling me this. These are smart, sane.
Well, the truth of the matter is, Neil, the IRS will never, ever, ever call you on the phone. Everything's in writing.
Right.
In the mail.
And not only that, but people were telling you to buy Home Depot gift cards. We made a mistake. Oh, they purchased Apple gift certificates.
They have these people run to the stores getting these and mailing them back out to these people. It's crazy.
And the other thing that you need to be very conscious of is a lot of these scams, a lot of the bigger ones, will happen on holidays and weekends. And there's a reason. They know the banks are closed. Or they'll catch you at a vulnerable time when you're not 100% thinking about what you're doing, and they'll catch you. And they're looking to catch you. It's terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
and again, Neil, in all seriousness too, look at the technology that's happening now between the cell phones, the computers. We're all doing online banking. Even in my industry, I'm sure in your industry, we're doing electronic signatures.
Yep.
So everything is fast. Everything's fast-paced. Everything's on the computer. Like you mentioned before, passwords. Man, I am so sick and tired of passwords. But listen, the longer, the more complicated your password, the safer you are, because they can crack those. They can crack those passwords in a split second.
It's scary. It's like you have someone else living in your computer and just waiting for the moment that you make a minor slip up.
How many people back in the day had a password uppercase P ASSWRD 123?
Right.
I mean, I think I did, right? But those days are gone.
Or hello 123. Goodbye.
My passwords are 12, 15, 16 uppercase, lowercase numbers, signal. I got some pretty complicated passwords because I'm terrified of that stuff.
Oh, you have to be. And dealing with 30 different insurance companies, I have 30 different passwords and then 30 different third-party verifications for every company, and then they change them every month.
What's it? Face. I can't even say the word.
Face recognition.
There it goes. Recognition. There it is. And you're such a handsome guy, Neil.
And your thumbprint. Thanks. Yeah. I got a face for radio. Believe me.
I've heard that one before.
I know. So you got to be worried about that and seek out professionals. And if you do get scammed, I mean, you need to know who to call. It's. Don't call me. I mean, I can't help you. We have my son. I call my son, and whenever we have a problem, but that's what he does. He's in fraud. But he could tell you this is a crazy environment, and it's changing rapidly, and it's something you need to be aware of. And I think the biggest message is, especially when you have children and stuff that are younger than you, seek their advice. They're
in on it. They know all. They know all the tricks of the trade.
They're a little more hip than we are. They got it. We think we thought we were the cat's meow, right?
Well, we were at one time.
Yes, we were. Yes, I remember when well, that's another story. Anyhow, we'll be right back after a quick break, Tim.
Yep. Hey, Tim Kennedy here. If we said something that piqued your interest, give us a call. Tim Kennedy, 516-729-6040. And I am your reverse mortgage certified professional.
And this is Neil Himmelstein, owner of Main Street Planning Group. We're an independent insurance wholesaling operation, and we help hundreds of agents and clients across the United States with their needs of life insurance, annuities, disability and long-term care, and basic planning to help you succeed in retirement and after.
And Neil, who are we?
We are two wild and aging guys. Welcome back to the Senior Show. We're two wild and aging guys. And by the way, we are live. If you want to give us a call at 631-451-1039, we are happy to take your calls and comments. If you have any questions or if you have a little side thing you want to tell us.
Yeah, let's hear it. 631-451-1039. Give us a call. We're more than happy to answer your questions or discuss your topics.
Right. And I'm Neil Himmelstein, owner of Main Street Planning Group, and also has a show, the Main Street Code for Financial Success, on Fridays at 3. And Tim
Kennedy here, and I am your certified reverse mortgage professional, or all your reverse mortgage needs, whether it's for need, like, maybe you're struggling and you're living month to month and you need some assistance or supplemental income or a buffer asset. I can help you with that. Or maybe, hey, maybe you got money, maybe you got monthly income and you whatever, but you're looking for lifestyle. And last but not least, tax efficient, tax strategies, tax advantages with the use of a reverse mortgage.
Excellent stuff. So anyhow, before the break, we were talking about fraud and protecting yourself, and we don't want to leave you just with, oh my God, what happened?
End of the world.
Let's think about positive steps we can make to put guardrails or some kind of buffers.
Different protections. Yeah.
So what would you think? What would you put in place?
Well, listen, Neil, it's kind of ironic that they're having this conversation and I'm a reverse mortgage guy. Because every time I say reverse mortgage, the first response I get is, isn't that a scam?
Right.
And
I heard that earlier today.
So
yeah, I hate that word.
And I'm sure in your industry as well you hear it, or years ago you may have heard it, right?
It's funny. I heard it from a young person right before I got here who owns a nice-sized business. He's 40.
Yeah.
40, 38. I remember when he was a kid, so it's boggling my mind. But he was saying, he owns a construction business, and he's got 10 people working underneath him, and he goes, I should really listen to your show more because, I don't know what's going on. I got this, I got that. And this one tells me buy life insurance, the term is no good. It's a scam. It's this, it's that. I'm like.
And here he is, 38, 40 years old, running a business, probably has a wife and kids. And how about some sort of insurance or disability insurance? God forbid he gets hurt tomorrow on the job.
Well,
how does he pay his bills?
Well, the only thing he does have liability insurance because he knows he needs that. People have their home insured, but they don't have themselves insured.
It's crazy. They have their cars insured.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they have to.
They have their cell phones insured.
Right. But if you knew your house was going on fire, you'd insure it, right?
That's right.
But how about yourself? You're going to go on fire one day. You can't help it.
So, Neil, getting back to this whole, how to protect ourselves from scams, right? I think that, especially for a husband and wife, like each spouse should know what the other spouse is doing.
Right.
What they have as far as bank accounts and savings accounts or retirement accounts and knowing what different insurances they have, knowing where the documentation is.
That's big. Now, let's stop there. If you have a will, do you know where that is? If you have a life insurance policy, do you know where that is? I'm going to tell you something. I don't know what the percentages are, but I can tell you 80% of the people that I know, if I ask them, do you have a life insurance? Yeah. Do you know where it is?
No clue.
No clue.
How about the long-term care policy, Neil? I can't tell you.
How about
a couple
the will?
of times.
How
a couple
about the
of times,
will?
I've had situations where the family has exhausted all the funds,
Right.
and the homeowner or the family member passes away. They're cleaning out the house. They find in the back drawer, in the underwear drawer, they find the long-term care policy
That they never used.
they never used.
Right.
So it's important that they know where this stuff is.
Oh, and you lose a will, and guess what? People go scrambling for a will, and even if you did the best intentions, you had a good will and you had a trust or whatever, if you can't find that document that's notarized and done properly, guess what? It goes to probate. And then all your wishes can go anywhere. So know where your stuff is.
The other thing, too,
Super important.
And we practice it here with the reverse mortgages, Neil. When we get a commitment or a clear to close, there's a 3-day cooling off period. So the client gets to review the paperwork, digest it, think about it, and then in 3 days we go to a closing. And even then, there's a 3-day rescission period. They still have another 3 days to review and look at it. So my recommendation for you out there listening to the show is, if somebody calls you up and says, listen, we need $10,000 right now, how about give yourself a rule, like a 24-hour cooling off period, where if somebody's requesting money, you give you a little time to think about it and ask questions.
At least 24 hours.
Think about it, ask questions, get more information, find out what it's all about, confirm where it's going to or who it's going to. Those type of things. Especially if the granddaughter's locked up in a prison somewhere, right? Well, let me talk to somebody else before I start wiring some money out there.
Right. Now, the next topic, I kind of along this, what happens if you can't manage your finances? Now, I'm going to tell you something that's happening to me that's bothering the heck out of me, is that I went to a lot of doctors last year, and I'm getting medical bills all the time. Now, because I have a great supplement, it's supposed to pay them. But you know what? If I didn't know what I was doing, I would either A, be freaking out, going to collection agencies, or just paying bills needlessly because the insurance wasn't right. So if you find yourself a little overwhelmed with your finance, we can help you find somebody to help keep your finances organized and maybe pay your bills. And if you're getting a little lax, bring it up to your children, your trusted children, and find a system that works, because it can be very overwhelming. And
every little bit counts, Neil. For example, in my household, we have a dentist. I have a dental insurance, but we have to pay the dentist direct.
Right.
So $300-400 dental bill.
Right.
And then they're supposed to submit that to the insurance company.
Right.
And then, months go by, and I say, something? I never got that $300-400 from the insurance. So now I have to go back, call the dentist, and say, hey, did you have and then they have to resubmit it. But in your situation where you went to a lot of different doctors and doctor's appointments and procedures in the course of you can't keep track of that stuff. I mean, I'm having a hard time just keeping track of the dentist, never mind multiple doctors.
Right. So, but this happens when we get older, and then it gets overwhelming, and then people don't even realize, sometimes, not me, but, maybe their cognitive's not there, or maybe they're just overwhelmed with other stuff, and that can creep up on you. And that's when scams can happen bigger than ever, especially if you're somebody who pays their bills and you're just, let me just pay it. Let me just pay it.
Yeah, just pay it.
And before you know it, that's a scam in itself. I remember years ago, going back 30 years, I did, work with Kraft Foods, and they did a lot of wholesale work with different, Wallbaums and Pathmark, and they were telling me that the accounts payable people were saying somebody would submit a bill for $220 for fixing a light in store number 17. What are they going to do? They would just pay it.
It's easy. It's simple. It's small.
But that's the kind of thing that happens repetitiously to millions of people every day. And that's the kind of thing you want to watch out for, too, is, just because you get a bill, don't necessarily just pay it. Question it. You have to question all the time. Even if it's small, question it.
Make a phone call. Question it.
Right.
Yep.
One of the other scams that we haven't talked about, that I've heard a lot about, and I stopped doing it myself, is if you're sending checks out. Checks can be very dangerous. I do, like a lot of commission checks. I do them all online now in a secure bank account. because somebody can steal your check and steal your signature. This has been known to happen. It's something to look out for. If you're writing a lot of checks, be very careful. I'm sorry, but that's what I was taught to do back in the day. But again, the scamsters have figured that out, and that's why our kids today may or may not have ever written a check.
That's right.
But this is another scam going on.
Oh,
it's infinite, the number of scams.
Even this whole Venmo, Zelle thing, you got to be very careful because it's so quick. You just press a button and the money's gone. So, jeez, Neil, that's it.
No, we got more to talk about.
Thank God we're here every Monday, Neil.
Oh, you're not kidding. Well, I'm going to tell you something that doing trust work, having insurance policies, updating your beneficiaries, making sure the ownership is correct, especially if you have a blended family in multiple situations. I talked about it on my show last week. You got to create financial guardrails to protect yourself and your family. And let us help you do that. So, what else, Tim?
I think that's it. I think it's a wrap, man.
That's a wrap. Anyhow, you've been listening to The Senior Show. I'm your co-host, Neil Himmelstein, Main Street Planning Group, with your insurance needs. And Tim
Kennedy here, 516-729-6040, your reverse mortgage guy.
And to get a hold of me, 631-647-4694. Have a great evening, everybody. Thanks.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.